Hey, Jacob. Thanks for joining us for this pre show interview. We look forward to having you at the 2024 Travel Goods Show.
I'm excited to chat today and can't wait for the show.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, your experience, and how you got into the travel industry.
My wife and I run localadventure.com. We run one of the largest travel blogs. We focus primarily on domestic travel. So within the States and Canada, really focusing on exploring our greater backyard, just because we have so many amazing things to see around here. We spent 7 years moving to a new city every year. And right before the pandemic, we settled down in Las Vegas and decided to make this our home base for the time being. The origin of our blog and our journey really came over time. There wasn't really one moment where we just decided to make the leap. We came from definitely creative backgrounds. My wife was a wedding photographer. I was more on the business side, but then was doing YouTube for a couple of years, doing music stuff there. And while I was doing that, Esther started the blog. She really just did it kind of as a hobby back in 2012, 2013, and wanted to just share about our travels because that's something we had loved doing, but she never got around to editing those photos while running a wedding photography business. She really just started to do something that she was passionate about and loved, and it started to grow kind of an organic following at that time. And there were only a handful of people doing it full time, and so she said, hey, let's give this a go. And she continued to work on it like a business, treat it like a business. And after a couple of years, it really started to take off. And I quit doing YouTube and joined her full time.
As you and your wife have traveled and really been immersed in the travel industry and the travel sector, what observations and trends have you noticed in the travel industry?
10 years ago, uh, people in the blog space were considered new media and kind of the edgy thing to do. And now it's shifted to where we're kind of a little more on the old school side, whereas people who are only on social media are kind of the new and shiny things. So it's been really interesting to see a kind of that shift in focus, but also just the how normal it is to work with creators at this point. But with that said, it's still such a new industry. There's still so much to navigate that it can be overwhelming, especially for smaller brands or for people just getting into it. There's just a lot of information out there and a lot of creators. So the question is, how do you find the right people? How do you work with creators that will deliver quality content? So I'm always excited to kind of have those discussions with people and talk about what it's like from the creator side. And again, my background is more on the business side, so I really like to approach it and look at it from the brand side as well.
And as the market trends have shifted over time with internet and in e-commerce platforms and now social media and content creators, it's so critical to not only understand it, but to leverage it in a smart way that's not going to really impact them negatively. So thank you for helping and wanting to be a part of that. Tell us about your involvement with the Travel Goods Show and what you will be presenting and talking about and helping those in attendance navigate.
I'm super excited about the Travel Goods Show. It's in our own backyard here in Las Vegas, but I am a gearhead at heart. I love checking out new gear, checking out new products. So I'm excited to be at the Travel Goods Show, not only to connect with brands that we already work with, but also to see what else is out there. I'll be doing the speed dating. I'll be on a panel for discussion, but also run a workshop as well, talking about how to work with creators and how to sift through all the noise and figure out who's the right person to work with. So I'll be around, and any of you guys who are going to be there, if you see me, please feel free to grab me. I'd love to just chat.
This is such a unique opportunity where our brands, our attendees, our retailers really just connect and network and figure out what kind of relationships and partnerships and collaborations there could be. And I look forward to learning from you. There's so much about this industry that I need to figure out, not only in the travel sector, but also how to navigate content creators and brands and collaborating for my own companies. So if you see me in the audience, give me a shout out or wave or something, but I look forward to attending your workshop. With that, you talk about brands and collaboration. How have you seen manufacturers and brands navigate this collaboration with content creators work? Have you seen it? Have you done it? What does that look like to create a mutually beneficial collaboration?
Finding a collaboration and content creators that work well with brands can be tricky for sure. There's so many creators out there, and they all are so unique in different ways. What's really fun for me, and what's exciting about this industry, is that you can meet 10 different bloggers or 10 different creators, and every single person's going to do things a little bit different. And I think part of it for a brand is finding one that is excited and genuinely loves the products that you're creating, but also works well with you. Has kind of You have that relationship that goes beyond just this kind of one off partnership for a brand deal. For me, I really like to have discussions of what the goals are for the brands, and there's so many different facets that we can help with. There's of course sales are super important, right? You want to convert, but there's also times where you're just trying to get the product out there, and that brand recognition. And there's creators that are great in doing that. We definitely look at a few different ways when we're working with brands, because you have the social media side, which is great in getting kind of those quick views and getting eyes on a product and getting something really exciting. But with our blog side, we can really focus on SEO and growing evergreen content that will be there for the long term.
Some people might view it as working with an influencer or content creator will generate sales, but there's more to it. Tell us your perspective of what a collaboration and the value brands could have through that.
There are so many ways that brands can work with creators. I think at for most brands that we chat with, a lot of times the focus just goes immediately to the conversion and the sales, which is great. Again, I understand, it's all about the bottom line, and trying to increase profits and sales for your company. But looking at creators to even just create social media content for you, or again, more brand awareness, or to use creators that you've worked well with before to get introduced to other creators. There's so many different avenues that I feel like a lot of brands miss out on. There have been tons of brands that we've worked with who approach us, hey, we want XYZ, one Instagram post, a blog post, and I'm always so surprised how quickly they move on after we deliver. And I think that there's a lot of benefit in building relationships in longer term in like a longer term project, but also again, you can reference them for getting feedback in future products, or if you are looking for other creators. Most of the times we have our own little circles of creators that we know deliver quality content as well, and that just helps you as a brand kind of navigate some of those waters and save time, really.
I just hear you and I'm like, there is a lot of wisdom here. So attending the workshop, attending your panel is going to be critical for those in attendance, because I know I'm learning just in this 10 minutes that we've been talking, and I look forward to the hour or so that you'll be presenting at the show. So I look forward to that. When you travel, what are the top 5 things that you can't leave home without? The travel good products. What is in
Ooh,
your bag there? What can you not leave home without?
that's a great question. I would say, off the top of my head, camera for us. We shoot with the Canon camera, a portable battery pack. We shoot a ton with our phone, and if our phone dies, that's a no. We use Anchor battery packs. They've just been super reliable. We have a big beast of a brick that we've used for probably 8 years, and it's still reliable. So I love those Anchor products. Backpacks super important to me because we are carrying a lot of gear. So being able to handle the weight and organizing everything that we need. My personal preference is wandered backpacks. I use their Provoke backpack, and it's been my go-to for the past probably 4 years or so. My cell phone Peak Design mobile system has been one of my favorite things. That's something that I changed over probably last year. They just have a great product that has a bunch of accessories for creators. It's got kind of a stronger magnet on the back. So I can show you an example. So here's the phone. I have my wallet, which is there, but when I'm not using my wallet, I can take it off, and there's a tripod mount that I can put on that's super secure. Fifth one would be I really love versatile travel clothes, stuff that we can play in. We do a lot of outdoor activities, climbing and whatnot, but then we still like to go have a nice dinner or, go to a nice bar afterwards. So being able to kind of transition in our gear from outdoor adventures to, nice restaurants. And so we have kind of a whole set of clothes for that. I would say one of my favorites is Vessies. They make shoes. They're a company based in Vancouver, and they're waterproof shoes, but they're fabric, and so they're really comfortable. But waterproof shoes, so they look good and they perform really well.
What is your go-to luggage brand?
So we switch a lot. Again, because I love just testing new luggage and seeing kind of what's out there, what's lightweight, carry on, and still can carry everything that I need. So I kind of switch between two different luggages depending on what I'm packing. The Roam carry-on front pocket luggage. That's when I want to be able to put my laptop in my suitcase as well and not carry it in my backpack. What I love about that brand is you can really customize it. You customize like every color of the suitcase, the handles, the wheels, the front panel, the back panel. So it's really cool just to have a customized piece of luggage, and you could really easily spot it wherever you are. Another one we've been using is the Horizon Studios recent one,
Oh yeah.
and that's made out of recycled material. So we just love. I think it's the H5, if I'm not wrong. But it's recycled material, so it's nice and eco-friendly. We have an orange one. So again, we just like bright products. Hey, they're great for photos, but also it's just easy to spot your stuff. When
Yeah.
in the mix of all the luggage out there.
Well, I have one question, but before I ask that, I just really want to thank you for your time, and we really look forward to having you at the Travel Goods Show. Just I know that anybody in attendance to your workshop and your panel is going to walk out with a ton of value. So thank you for your expertise, your professionalism, and preparing for the Travel Goods Show. It's going to be amazing. So thank you for that, Jacob. What bit of travel related wisdom could you impart to those watching this video?
First of all, I'm so excited to be at the show. I can't wait to meet all of you guys there. Again, whether it's the panel, the workshop, or just seeing me walk in the hallways, please flag me down. I'd love to chat and meet with you guys. Adventure can be found anywhere. And I think that's why we started the blog, and what we want to encourage people to do is to make use of your weekends, make use of any free time you have, and explore your city, your state, your neighboring states. There's so many amazing things that I think we look past as travelers, because when we think about traveling, we always focus on far off destinations or these grand adventures. But there's so many little gems that you can find. And I think it's just getting into that mindset of practicing adventure every day.
Where can people find you? Give us a shout out of where people can find you online if they want to reach out before the show.
Yes, you can find us at localadventurer.com. That's with an ER at the end. And then on social media, you can find me at Jacob the Foo. That's Jacob, Jacob, the THEFU.com. And that's on Instagram.
So thank you, Jacob. It's been
Beautiful.
a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you, and have a happy new year and safe travels. And we'll talk to you soon.